Okay, a long time ago I did some videos on how to create custom REST services that you could plug into OIM. I recently stumbled on an easier way to do it, even though the documentation was incorrect. With the help of AI, I was able to figure this out and finally get it working. And it is actually easier. And it turns out it will work exactly the same on 12c and 14c. All right, so here what we're looking for is, regardless of which version of OIM, the one we're looking for is this application rest.war. All right, there's going to be one for 12c and there'll be one for 14c. And the main difference is the manifest. One will be JDK8 and one will be JDK17. Okay, so that's the big difference. Other than that, if you look at this, you see how the package name is here. But if you look at the README, it says your feature name. Well, it better be identity rest or nothing's going to work. And you have to have the OIM rest endpoints. I think other than that, it could be pretty much anything you want. The other thing is that in order to plug into this, you don't really create another web application. All you're going to do is create a separate jar that uses the right libraries. Okay, so let's take a look at that real quick. All right, so I have the 12c version here. Okay, and these are the 12c libraries. You can find them on your OIM installation. And then down here, I have the 14c version, and these are the libraries that you need for 14c. Now be careful here, because even though this says Jakarta, they're using Javix. All right, now this code here is exactly the same. And the only difference in building it is, one, this is being built with JDK8. This is using 17. This one is using the 12c libraries. This one is using the 14c libraries. Other than that, the code is exactly the same. So once you build the jar, just your average everyday jar file, you can then deploy it to, so we have to back up here a little bit. Let's do this. So I go in here. And you can do this. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to deploy your jar in this directory and then restart OIM. So if we take a look at that, here's where I have the custom jar here. And then you just restart OIM and you'll be able to run it. I'm not sure if I have. Yeah, I do. Okay, so this should work. So the one I created is to look at the triggers. So this is looking at, let's see, lookups here. Here, so this is my 14C. Let's see if it still works. Okay, so there it is. It's sending back the lookup entries, key value pairs for the user process triggers. So you have to do name lookup, all right, and then it works. And of course, you need the user ID, password, and the auth header. All right, and the exact same code works for 12c. I just have a different URL for my 12c servers. I don't have that running now, but the same exact code works, and you just have to build it differently. So if we take a look at that, and if itself, what I have here is, here's the controller. Okay, it follows the same path as the application, and you'll notice that that application is using that URL as the context. So this is what the context is going to be for your custom code, and then here is my controller right there. and that's here. Okay, so now I have, and then there's lookups, the lookup code. You can create a lookup. So it's just calling the APIs. All right, so this is the controller. The controller is calling the service, and then the service in turn is calling this wrapper that I have around the TC lookup operations. So the constructor, the nice thing about wiring it in this way is you already have access to OIM. So the constructor automatically gets the service, and then any of these methods can be used to call the operations to do what you need to do. And it supports most of the operations that are in the out of the box one. Just makes it a little bit easier. And of course, you get REST back. There's no lookup operations in the out of the box REST. That's why one of the main reasons why I did this. So pretty standard stuff. Um, I'll see if I can get the code up in um, GitHub about the time I get the video loaded up. Okay, that's all there is to it.